How are we doing today? Awesome. Well, welcome to our live taping of something we do here at the Flora-Bama called Artist Spotlight. My name is Davis Nix, and I'm the brand new Assistant Director of Entertainment here. And, thank you. Today, for our Artist Spotlight, we have our really good friend, Mr. Wes Loper. And during this time for Wes Loper! And during Artist Spotlight, we like to kind of shine a light on the artists that play here. And Wes Loper has been playing down here since how long?
Long time. The late 90s. I can't remember my first gig here officially, but I know it was before I got out of college, and I got out of college in 99. So.
Okay. And so you made your way down here to play some music, and how did that happen? How did you hear about the Flora-Bama?
So I used to work out on the beach with the beach service, with Perdido Beach Service, and I would adjust the umbrellas and set up the cushions, and my uncle he did that, so I kind of worked under him, and he gave Hobie Cat rides, so he taught me how to sail Hobie Cats, and I got to do that, and that's what we did during the summer, and so on Sunday, this was the only place to buy beer. So we would at least come here every Sunday because there was rarely a Saturday night where we didn't have any left over. And that was before I was, I was watching it mostly. So I wasn't partaking, but I was with my uncle. So he came and I would come and learn how to shoot pool. And I just happened to watch Rusty and Jay and Mike and all those guys, and I just kind of absorbed it. And then, I worked a lot at the Holiday Inn in Gulf Shores. Holiday Inn, Best Western were right next door to each other. The Holiday Inn had a pool where they had a stage, and some of those guys would play down there on the stage. Greg and George were some of my favorites, and I was picking up the guitar at that point, so I started, they were letting me sit in.
You got brought over here to sit in on in between the breaks or whatnot.
That's right, yeah. So I started sitting in there. I started sitting in here. George Ritter would let me sit in on his breaks. And then eventually, as I started getting gigs everywhere, I made my way and they let me play here for whatever reason.
So you spent a lot of time down here. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah. And as soon as I had my motorcycles license, I was 14. And I got my motorcycle's license and had a street legal motorcycle and drove down here for the summer.
Put your guitar on the back, come to the gig?
Well, that was before I was playing guitar. That's just how I was that young coming down here. And then I didn't really start playing until after, until I got into college and when I got back from the Navy. That's when I picked up the guitar and started doing that. So it was more portable than the piano, which is what I was.
And you've been touring, Wes has been touring all over the country. In the world, if I had to guess, but not just Flora-Bama. He made a career out of being an artist and a songwriter. And you lived in Nashville for a while. 6 years. We just moved away, sold everything we had, and bought our fourth RV that we've had. We like the RV lifestyle, and we've got one with bunks, and we're the kids are homeschooling now. Yeah, you got kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
11-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son.
All right.
And they started school in Tennessee. We moved up there. My daughter started kindergarten, and then when my son started pre-K, my wife went back to teaching up there, and that was good, except for what we realized is that we liked it better when she was at home and the kids were at home and we were all on the same schedule, as opposed to me working nights and weekends and then working days and having the weekends off. So we said, we're gonna abandon that.
Get an RV.
And we're going to go back to the traveling altogether. So,
that's awesome.
So we're parked in the parking lot of the Flora-Bama.
And y'all been traveling like that for a while, haven't you?
Since,
off and on.
Yeah, so we got our first RV when our daughter was, before our son was born, our daughter was probably 1.
Okay.
And so, and that was mostly, I got that because of the band. I was traveling with the band extensively, and instead of going in and out of hotels, which, again, is opposite of a band schedule, we were spending most of our hotel time on stage, and by the time we got there and got to sleep, it was time for us to check out, so that didn't work. So we got the RV, we could sleep and go down the road and go to the next gig and all that stuff, warm up leftovers and all that kind of stuff.
I have a question for you.
All right.
So, Wayne Mills brought me down here.
Yeah.
And I know that you knew Wayne very well.
Yep.
Do you have a Flora-Bama Wes Loper, Wayne Mills story?
I have a
You could
bunch.
just pick one maybe and give us a little summary of
Oh,
Flora-Bama, Wes Loper, Wayne Mills.
You know, my favorite times is when, after I moved up there, and he had already moved up there to Nolensville,
Yeah.
and I moved up there a couple of years afterward, or a few years afterwards, and you know, we were going to be neighbors and all that, but the weirdest thing is we were both still playing down here quite a bit, and I would be playing and on stage, and I hadn't checked the schedule of who was playing or whatever, and the next thing I know, Wayne would come in, and it was like, awesome, you're gonna be here,
Yeah.
and we're there together, and it was usually a slow night, you know, so we would just hang out after the gig and go to the band house, and that was my most memorable times, because we saw each other a lot on the road. A lot of times we were after gigs, we were tired, hungry, or we had to go different directions, we had limited time, and it was always a lot of people around. When we were down here, we had time to chill and just
You get to hang with people.
yeah. We got to know each other a lot better, talk more about our kids, and just really be who we're meant to be, you know.
Yeah. So playing the Flora-Bama this long and being on the road as long as you have been, and living in Nashville and being from Mobile. Mobile has a great music scene, it seems like. But
Yeah.
being from there and living in Nashville and being on the road and playing Flora-Bama, as a songwriter and an artist, like you put out records, right?
Yeah.
And when was the last time you put out music?
2014, I think.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
I
Is
put,
it
I
time?
put out
Is it
new
coming-
music every few years, whether somebody asks me or not.
Right. Is it coming up though? You gonna
Yeah,
put
yeah,
new
so-
music out? All right.
Yeah.
There's gonna be new music coming out of Wes Loper.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to the singles format and start putting out singles digitally for a while, and hopefully y'all get those when they come out. I've got a box full of CDs that I realize that a lot of people don't even have CD players, and I appreciate that.
I'll take
things are
one.
moving. Yeah, you've got all my CDs. It's my rent for staying at in your guest bedroom. When I'm
That's right.
coming
Yeah.
through Montgomery.
Yeah. The hotel. Yeah.
It's a beautiful.
Well, do you want to? All right. So I had notes, and my phone went off. But would you play one of the new singles?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is this one called? Yeah.
This one's called Shade.
Shade.
I wrote this down in Key West. I go down there every year, or most every year, for the Meeting of the Minds. We've been going there for a while, and there's a really good network of songwriters and artists down there. And this one guy, Kelly McGuire, he has a great showcase event at one of the hotels that has a nice little courtyard. It's a lighthouse court. And I played it a few times. You know, they knew some of my songs. I'd gotten kind of introduced while I'd done it a few years, and I realized I didn't have any new music out. So I woke up that afternoon, and right before I was going to go to the show, and I went out on the back porch of my buddy Matt Quinton's house in our apartment, and wrote this song. So,
Y'all give it up for Wes Loper, Shade.
I like sun. When it's sliding across the water, I like to fish. Especially with my son and daughter. But there's one thing that makes these two things better. Shade. I like trees. They make tiki bars and piers. I like cotton. I've been wearing it most of my years. My favorite product these two things produce is shade. It brings a little relief from the summer heat. It makes a place where I want to take a seat. It gives me the illusion I've got it made. I like sails. They do way more work than I do. I like clouds. Hey, and that one looks like a kangaroo. I'm lucky if I have one or both above me. They bring a little relief from the summer heat. They make a place where I want to take a seat. They give me the illusion I've got it made in the shade. You can't see it, You can only feel it. Sit back and enjoy it. Do your best to employ it. It'll bring a little relief from the December heat. It'll make a place where you want to take a seat and eat. It'll give you the illusion you've got it made in the shade.
Yeah. Wes Loper, new single Shade right there. You heard it first. So do you have a date you're going to release that? Do you know when you're going to, what month?
The release date was November 5th, but we missed it. So
yeah, gone.
it'll be late it'll be in January sometime. I'm just trying to get it right. You know, you want it to be the best it can be, and we're still tweaking it. So,
Will you all be sure to check out Wes Loper? And this was the Artist Spotlight Flora-Bama with Wes Loper today. We appreciate everybody hanging out. Wes, thank you so much for coming and talking with us.
Thanks for
and
having
hanging out and giving us a little bit of your life, man.
Thank you, brother.
To see when Wes Loper will be playing again next, please go to our website, Flora-Bama.com, and click on music. And please check that out. Thank you again.